Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Winback. On today's episode of Heroes of the Storm, I need to turn the face cam back on. There it is, we did it. The last video, it was off for the second half of the... I'm sorry. Anyway, we're playing Artanis today in Heroes of the Storm, and I am going to show you his newly updated ability. I think it's just the singular ability. And then... No. Two abilities got updated, and then we'll talk about some talents, see if it works for this character. I think ultimately the changes on his base kit are really important, but they do really kind of give him more choices in terms of what you can build and how you can build it. So we're gonna pull up the patch notes again here. Go to Artanis. Oh, didn't get the swap, but we're just gonna chase down the other Protoss on the map here. Now, Artanis, his changes, let's see. So, charge range increased for our twin blades for our W. So the dash that we get from our W went up to 3.5 from 3. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but any little bit helps, because if you play Artanis any amount, you know that sometimes people are just very slightly on the edge of where you need to be, and they'll forever run away from you. Phase Prism cast time increased very insignificantly, probably just enough so that you can feel the difference. And then Artanis no longer has to channel when throwing out the phase prism. So the E, when you throw it now, it's just going to be a projectile, and then you can move immediately after it's thrown. And then after it hits someone, if you're swapping with them, you will be 100% unstoppable for 1.5 seconds, which is really insanely, incredibly impactful and helpful. And as an Artanis player myself, I will have to get used to that, because having that unstoppable button makes a lot of CC that the enemy team throws at you when you're going in really negatable. So that's really important to get around. Purifier Beam had its cooldown reduced by 10 seconds, which is really fun, so we're going to take that. And then the rest are talent changes. Now, I have tested a fair amount of talents with this character so far. Can we get the Sonya? No abilities left. Looks like she's going to get away. I tested a number of the abilities so far, and there are a couple that I feel like were really good, strong changes, and then there are at least one or two that I feel like are absolutely worthless still. But maybe not worthless. Maybe just still not my preference. But the level 1 talent. Oh, the block talent. What's it called? Reactive Parry. That's what it's called. Now lets you get block charges for both your Q and your W, but they reduced the amount of armor that the block charges block from 75 to 50. So it can make you very tanky, but no, sorry, you can get lots of charges of block, but they won't make you as tanky, is what I should have said. Which is fine. I mean, ultimately, if you're building for a full tank Artanis, parts of that work really well. There are things that you could do to make that happen, but you won't be really taking any of the fun talents, I feel like. So, Shield Battery at level 4 was also a change that they made. This talent here, reducing the cooldown while it's active, but now it just passively reduces the cooldown of your trait by 4 seconds as well. So, ultimately, you're reducing the cooldown of the ability by a lot, potentially, as long as it's up long enough. Level 7 follow-through got removed, and they gave him Final Cut instead, even though I think Genji's talent name is Final Cut. Which seems... whatever. We'll let that slide. But ultimately, it's... wow, I need to... when Artanis' health drops below 25%, he is going to be able to do 60% more damage bonus rather than the 40% that it is going to be normally. So it's still a follow through. It's still, oh man, I just made my glasses worse. It's still follow through. It's still going to give you extra damage after every ability you use on your autos, but it is going to be stronger now when Artanis is low health, and it looks like that's what the dev team really wants you to do. They want you to play the character at low health, and then really that's where he shines, because that shielding, everything that you can do with this character really shines when he's low health and he does not have a whole lot of CC on him. Blades of a Templar also got changed. The attack speed bonus is reduced to 20%, which is a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, some of the attack speed talents with your phase prism got an indirect buff. So, and then at 20, they just changed the Zealot charge distance to compensate for the kind of new range of the W. And now you're just going to watch me try and chase down an Azebo for a kill. Because, really, I can hunt him down with auto attacks all day unless he didn't walk towards his fort. I thought for sure he was going to walk over to the fort that's not there. I'm dumb. But he's going to wall himself in. We're just going to try to get him with a blade dash. Wasn't enough heal or damage as of yet. And can we keep up? He can't kill us no matter what he does. So if he stops just like that, he's done for. Got to give him a little spray for doing the wrong thing. And BM complete. Now, sorry it's taking me so long to talk about the abilities, but if you're not familiar with Artanis, after all those changes that I've explained, your Q is called Blade Dash. This is going to dash you forward. You're going to deal a small amount of damage on the way out, and then you're going to return to that point shortly thereafter, doing more damage. The damage on the return is always going to be higher than the damage going out. Now, while you're doing this, you can use your E, which is called Phase Prism. Phase Prism is going to let you throw that missile we were talking about earlier that got the upgraded timing. So you don't have to channel that anymore. And now while you're using your Q, you can fling it out. Yeah, you can fling out your Phase Prism while you're using your Q for huge long-range swaps, getting people inside your team. When the team fight happens, makes for big picks, makes for big stuff happening. It's really, really, really good. You're just seeing a lot of short range swaps right now because I just want to get on top of the person to kill them, but we can stand in front of that. We're going to take a hit with our shield and then take a hit with our health bar to keep that teammate alive. Looks like Phoenix and Sonya are up in the top lane doing their thing, trying to soak some experience, so we don't have a whole lot to worry about on that turn-in. Now, our last ability is called Twin Blades. It's going to basically charge up your next auto attack to hit twice, and it is going to dash a short distance to hit whoever is nearby. So, hit the W, right-click a person. If they're in range, you will dash to them and punch them 2 times in the face with some blades. It's really, really just how Artanis does all of his damage, unless you're playing for Q. If you're playing Q build, then all of your damage is going to come from that ability, which is much more fun in my opinion, but it's okay. Playing Artanis this way doesn't feel terrible anymore because Phase Prism got the changes that it needs to feel like a strong ability, which it never has in the past because it's always been so fucking clunky and awful to use. Oh, my nose itches. And then we've got the Purifier Beam on our R button. I'm waiting for the Butcher to get into position right now because Gul'dan is just having a time trying to kill that creep. Instantly deleted that Butcher ult, all the auto attack damage, and even Kira coming down to show us her little whippy sword. It's good stuff. Way to go, team. Really love the ganks. Everything's coming up aces. Let's see. So what else have we got here? All right, our trait. If I didn't mention our trait is called Shield Overload, and every time this ability is off cooldown and we're below 75% health, the shield will activate. The activation the cooldown is reducible by auto attacks and hits with your Q. So the more people that you hit with your regular auto attacks, your twin blades, and the number of targets that you can hit with your blade dash are going to reduce the cooldown of your trait. Blade dash, I believe, reduces it by 2 seconds. Yes, and then Twin Blades reduces it by 4 seconds. Same with auto attacks. Auto attacks are 4, and then Twin Blades, since it's 2, is 8. So, got him. I think I'm probably dead. I'm dead on the swap. That's super unfortunate. But as long as Butcher can get the kill on the Gul'dan, gonna get him under the tower and die, it looks like. I hope he picked up the mate. I really hope that he did. Oh no, Zagara dying on the top side of the map, but not losing any actual coins, and the Hungering Arrow is going to take out the Nova. Good stuff there. Let's go meet her down the middle of the map and see what happens. I am playing against one of the higher rated GMs in this game as well. The enemy team's Sonya. I wasn't sure at the beginning of the game if it was a real account or not, but I checked afterwards, and it is the actual Zainhide, which is, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good that Quick Match thinks that we belong in the game together. So, anyway, gonna go for some quick clears on the Bruiser camp up top here. Just want to make sure that the enemy team does not have any space to get that boss up on the top side. And now we can talk about some talents. So, we've taken amateur opponent specifically because we're on Blackheart's Bay, and camp taking on this map is extremely important. It's basically more important than team fighting, if we're being honest. So, gonna go ahead and dodge that boss stun, nice and easy, blinking right out of there. And our other options at level 1, they're still completely pickable, but they kind of dictate how you're gonna build for the rest of the game. So, amateur opponent really kind of lets you do whatever you want. Protector of Ire does put you in kind of this bruiser carry role, which is really important for empowering your auto attacks, so you kind of have to force yourself to do that. And then if you're taking reactive parry, if you're trying to be as tanky as possible, you really have to build into defensive talents for Artanis, which is a little bit less fun than what we're currently doing. But really, since we've got amateur opponent right now, I don't want to be in this cage, so we're just going to break down the small wall after swapping out of the zombie wall and casually walk away from that Nazebo, who is probably super upset. Nice. Now, your level 4 talent, I don't really think that this is going to change. I have played at least 5-6 games with Shield Battery now, and any build that I've taken really doesn't make me feel like it is doing enough. Even with the 4-second removal from the shield overload, which drops it to a 20-second cooldown, it's still kind of like... I've tried builds defensively for it. I've tried just pure auto attack. I've tried taking attack speed. I've tried the Q build. I've tried everything under the sun. Oh man, he got interrupted in the middle of his ultimate. That is feels bad. Is he going to live? Kira getting hit. Oh, on the backside by the Nova as long as possible. The Planet Killer, Planet Crack are going to take out the Vala. We're trying to get away, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Taking Sonya out, and 10 coins later, things are looking up. Can we chase down the Phoenix and the Nova as well? Phoenix is out. It's going to grab myself a 7th coin and watch this Gul'dan run for his life as he realizes I'm on my way to check his library card. Excuse me, sir. I knew it. I knew you were the type of guy to just stand there. I've got full health. I could totally fight Artanis. Turns out, you can't. You can't. I don't care how little health I have, it would still be plenty to kill the Gul'dan. And my butcher's coming up to clean everything up to get some meat, so goodbye. You're dead. You're welcome, butcher. Shield Surge, though, I still think really, really, really good. One talent I haven't tested enough, but I think has gotten better because of the phase prism changes, will be the Psionic Synergy. So getting 30 armor for 5 seconds when you swap a person seems like it could be really OP. And then we're going to take... Well, if we were building that, we'd still take Graviton Vortex, oh my god, at 13. But this is a different build, so we'll leave that as it is. At level 7, we've taken Solarite Reaper, which is going to give us 175% more damage on the outward dash of Blade Dash, which is basically going to match the outgoing and incoming damage of Blade Dash. Makes wave clear really easy, makes taking camps a lot easier. It's just more AoE damage for a character that is typically very single target focused, and I need as much of that as possible. Especially when you're being an offlaner on Blackheart's Bay, you got to be able to clear waves and camps and stuff quick, and this is the best way to do that, I believe. Now, our 13 talent, we are taking Graviton Vortex mainly just because I wanted to see how it felt with the changes. Looks like we may be able to take out the Sonya. Oh my god, the healing is crazy. We're just going to miss all of our abilities and then walk up. But Graviton Vortex, what this is doing is reducing the cooldown of your phase prism by 2 seconds when you hit with basic attacks or Blade Dash. So you could effectively throw the ability out over and over and over again. And if we had that armor talent, we'd have almost permanent 30 armor. I mean, and unstoppable, if we're being perfectly honest. You're not going to kill me. The game is over before he can suck me off, and my laser build is just drilling into his skull anyway, so nothing was going to happen there. The Graviton Vortex did feel really good, though, especially in the fights with Gul'dan, where he was just sitting there sucking. We can interrupt that, and that is a real game changer. 16, once 16 rolls around, we end up picking up the, where is it? The Force of Will. Force of Will is a defensive talent at 16, but it is reducing the cooldown of your shield overload by 5 seconds when using basic abilities. So that is 15 seconds off of your shield overload cooldown anytime that you have a full 3-button rotation of your basic abilities, which is nuts. And then our 20, just because we took the Purifier Beam, we took the Purifier Beam upgrade to increase the movement speed and get those resets. So nothing new there, nothing new at 16 either. But this build ultimately geared towards getting camps, getting coins, getting XP, and making sure that our team has real strong objective control. Butcher coming in there with more XP than I did, and at least I've got more than Kira and Zagara, so that makes me feel better. But regardless, I think Artanis definitely got buffed this time around with these changes. I just don't know how much impact the buff is going to give him or leave him with. So, oh man, I got the hiccups. That's not good. Anyway, I'll deal with those. Let you guys go. See you next time. Goodbye.